Hi, family. This is More Holistic. I know you haven't heard from me in a long time. It's been about a month. It's a lot of stuff that's been going on. Okay, so subscribe and give me a thumbs up and share. That's if you like. If you think this message is important and interesting, then you can do that. It's your choice. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for your time. So, what is my message today, or what are we going to talk about today? Well, today I was going to talk about the notion of, I've looked at the digital world, and I keep hearing this message that the so-called black community, they have black male worship. So what would that be? I guess I don't really understand what that means, but I do. I get it what it means, but what I think where it comes from, I think it's natural. Not natural, but it's kind of like if you've been indoctrinated and brainwashed to think that men are superior to you, then you're going to basically worship. Like when you go to any religious book or organization that we have now, or church, or what, a synagogue or whatever, who's the God? Who's the person everybody's worshiping? It's number one, a male God. Okay, so that's going to reflect in your everyday life. So if you worship a male God, then you're going to worship the sex that he represents. Same thing for color. If your God that you're worshiping is white or pale, or albinism or albino or whatever, or colorless or non-black, then those people that are that color of the God, you're going to see them in a God-like way. That's why when you go to some places in Africa, you see all these white Jesuses all on the cars and trucks and stuff. So, but anyways, I just thought I would say that it's not a big surprise. As far as, I don't think the black community in particular is a male worshiping community, no more than anywhere else in the world, because all over the world, women worship men. Why? Because it's in their religious, it's part of the whole system, because it is a system of male dominance, and the women are subordinate. And they're subordinate because actually they, I would say that, what was I going to say? Yeah. That women, more than any other group, have collaborated in their own subordination through the acceptance of sex gender system, which means like girls wear pink and boys wear blue, and then they get indoctrinated that they like dolls and they should be mothers and sit at home. But that not so much anymore. But I remember like the basic thing, maybe like 50 years ago, especially when I was growing up, the dolls, the cooking, all that stuff, they indoctrinated with us, like saying that, oh, well, you're not a complete female unless you know how to cook, unless you have a baby. So they kind of rub that into your head. So not all women need to have babies. Not all women don't have to have babies. And nowadays you have a choice. If you don't want to have children, you shouldn't have them. Maybe there'll be less child abuse and unloved children. Because it does cost about, if you do want to do it right, $250,000 to raise a child correctly. Of course, you can go the cheap way, but that's not we don't advise that. People don't advise that. So getting back to the worship of males, you can see all over the culture that males are worshiped. Or like I said, the religion, they have phallic worship, phallic, yeah, P-H-A-L-L-I-C-K, yeah, phallic symbols, like the Empire State Building, skyscrapers, hot dogs, everyday hot dog, what is that? Is that not male worship? Candy bars. And then, okay, because what I'm saying is all the male symbols go deep into your subconscious mind, and then kind of program you to think a certain way. So, male gods, and then we have, Santa Claus is a male. You got the baseball bat, that's a male phallic symbol. The gun is a male phallic symbol. What about spaceship, missiles, and rockets, because that represents patriarchal dominance, control, conquering, and violence, So a lot of black men will say, well, we don't have any power. We can't stop you from getting a job or anything like that. But they do have, since men are physically stronger than women physically, and a woman does have to deal with the pregnancies, and so her body's a little bit weaker as far as strength-wise, they would have that power to dominate you and be violent towards you. Because if that wasn't the case, then every 8 hours a black woman is murdered by a black man. Every 8 hours, okay? So that's something to think about. So a lot of times male dominance equals violence. If you look at the world all over, you have all these child laborers, child marriage, stealing the resources, selling the resources, and forgetting about masses of people. And also, a lot of people say, well, patriarchy is natural. I mean, well, it's a social construct, a historical construct. It was kind of like created due to, maybe an excess of resource, abundance of resources. And then men probably started fighting, and then women were the casualties of war and slavery, and then they started to exchange and barter in between the two of them. So, so when a lot of times some men feel powerless because they don't have all the power of certain men, they feel like in order for their women, for them to have power, personal power, political power, economic power, their women, they always say, you must submit. What does that mean? Submit means to be subordinate, to be under, less than the male. Let him have the dominance, the control over, the home sphere and whatnot. That could work in some situations, but, not all men have that capabilities. Every man is not smart. Some of them are pretty damn dumb. And they just can't lead. So how are you going to have somebody lead you that's not a leader? Okay? Just because you're born a male doesn't make you a natural born leader. Okay? That's all I got to say. I just think it's just kind of weird that people would say these things and that without really thinking the whole thing through. So in order to, to have subordination, and women do collaborate with it because they're in exchange for resources. So, like marry me and give me a house and take care of me, and then you can have access to my body. And then I can, women will say, well, they'll be birthing the kids. But that's almost like a prostitute says, well, you can have sex and give me money. But a wife says, you can have sex with me, just give me a refrigerator. So, it's kind of like the same thing. I don't want to offend anybody, but that's how I'm looking at it. Of course, I could be totally wrong, but I see it's kind of like an exchange, Prostitutes give sex for money. Wives give sex and companionship for a refrigerator and, the house in the suburbs or whatever. So it's kind of like, and the man is the paternal dominance, like, I know what's good for you. I know what you need, and it's all for your own good. I'm doing this because I'm the man, and I'm naturally God, the great male God, made me the control of everything. So you need to listen to me because I know best. Father knows best. So that's basically what it's saying. But, I know a lot of people don't agree with that, and that's okay. But it goes on to say then, since women are changing and the world is changing and women have more rights and more freedom, which scares a lot of men, and they don't really know, how to deal with it. So is there, is this, and then is there something wrong with marriage because you have so much divorce? Like, I think as high as 40% every 36 seconds there's a divorce. So as you say, people will say, well, is there something wrong with you that you're divorced? Oh, something wrong with you. What's wrong with you? No, you must ask, what's wrong with the institution of marriage? Because a lot of people think, marriage, we've been brainwashed, indoctrinated to think that marriage is going to just solve our problems. You'll no longer be lonely and all these other things. And but basically, I think that it's it's kind of like you're going along with without questioning things. Maybe there's a different life for you. Maybe you can go out and create this wonderful life without being married. Maybe you want to be single. Maybe you want roommates. And a lot of times what marriage does, it isolates women and men from their family, their friends, because they got this one person that they're going to be with forever and ever, and they're going to be together, and they kind of like, they don't talk to their parents anymore. They don't call them as much as they used to. They got this one person that they're just dedicated to. Now, I like having an extended family where, everybody helps out and you participate in this like communal environment, not just these two people forever and ever. And then along comes a child, and then you're stuck to the job because you got to pay for the child. So you don't, having a lot of flexibility enough. But and also, I think information I came across that it's more expensive for a lot of black couples to get married because you got to pay more tax. Look into that. I know it's a sister wrote a book about that, and right now it doesn't come to mind. I can't think of what it is, but I can tell you later. So that's basically all I have to say about it. And it just causes people. I'm not saying don't get married, but you have to think about, you might, depending on the guy, it causes a lot of social isolation. It's just you and this guy. You got to do everything together. You can't have sex with anybody else, just you and him. This monogamous monotony over and over, same person. Not saying you're going to have a whole bunch of people in your life. You're going to have this, great sex life or whatever, but you might get tired. Okay, so, you might miss out on, meaningful relationship, roommates, friendships, a whole network. But, you have to, we've been brainwashed to say that marriage is the be-all, is all in all. But, for those who want to go that way, you can go that way. I'm just saying that, just think about it in a bigger picture. It's a lot more to marriage than what you think it is. And, but I think, like, society needs to support more single-parent mothers, single-parent lifestyles, because, like, for example, in the black quote-unquote black community, there's like 2 million extra women that will never get married. So they can have options, excuse me, to go out and marry men of different races, if that's an option for you. If you want to try that option, yeah, that's a good thing to do if you want to do that, because there's not enough black men. What you going to do? Black men going to have 5 wives? No, that's not going to work, because you have to have the resources for that. And who wants to be in a polygamous relationship? That's so oppressive, with one night for this way. But I'm just saying, that's my opinion. I don't think it would work. Some people, it may work. They could do that. It's great. They can, hey, you like it, I love it. But I don't see how that would work and be to the woman's advantage. And some people say, well, it is, but I really don't see that. So I think that, society needs to kind of support single-parent mothers the same way and celebrate it like they do married couples. Why not? Help the mothers with the children, instead of giving them scorn and judgment and shame and guilt and saying that black women can't raise children, they're the cause of everything. I think that's a scapegoat, because marriage, if it was so successful, it would be 100% and people wouldn't be getting divorced. Why are they divorcing? If it's so wonderful, so great, why are they divorcing? I know overall, it's like 40%. But I think it's even higher within our group, because, it's a lot of factors involved. But what I'm saying is, you can get married. I'm not saying not to get married, but you need to look into all the different aspects of marriage and just think about it. That's it. Okay, well, I'm glad you tuned in for a minute or two, and have a great day. Also, I was going to show you, I'm not wearing a wig today, and my locks, I was going to have, remember I showed you way back that it was, what do you call it? Freestyle Afro locks. Well, I changed that because I interlocked them, as you can tell. I did that about maybe 6 weeks ago or so. And as you can see, it has new growth here. But yeah, this is what I have here. They've grown. They're all locked up. See? They're all locked. Very locked. They're growing here. They're growing. Yep. So what I do is I kind of make it like a hairstyle as much as I can because I don't know, I just like try something different. So I use these, you know, when I was a kid growing up, they used to be pink rollers, but now they have these rollers, same spongy rollers, and they have the silk stuff on it. So you can roll them up and sleep in them. And just like, because see, what it does for people that have thinner hair like mine, it gives it a little bit of body and a little thickness. It doesn't look so flat and limp, you know. So roll them up, put a little water on it, and a little spray bottle, put a little water on it. And then at night, before you go to bed or walking around, just roll it up. See? Zit, zit, zit. Roll it up. And then put your little bonnet on. Don't wear it out. Don't want to wear it to the airport. Don't want to wear it to the grocery store. And then take it down and just let it fall down itself. So then this is what it looks like on day one. Like tomorrow, it'll just be a little looser and it won't be so rolled up. But, you know, as you can see, it's grown out a lot. Here it is. See, right here. And I started August 2020, so this is August, right? So it's been a year that I've been locked. This is my third set of locks. My first set of locks were in 1988, about 30 years ago, and people were really freaked out. I mean, there was the Rastas that have it, but you know, when you're like a Yankee American having it, they was like, ooh, you don't take care of your hair. You look unkempt. What man gonna want you like that? You know, all that stuff. And I noticed that now everybody's trying to sew them into their head, and it's very popular now. But I guess if you're an avant-garde person, you have to kind of take the heat of, you know, being new and trying new ideas, because people will reject what's new at first until they really see the value of it. But yeah, it's like, it's a great hairstyle. I wash my hair probably like once a week. And then as far as interlocking, I try to do that not too often because I don't want to put a lot of tension on the hair. Like I just did it, I think in July, so I got all of August, all September. So I'll probably do it like maybe like around Halloween time, because it'll probably see what it is. It's just that short amount of time. Got a lot of new growth, but I don't want to mess with it so much. So I'll do it like around Halloween for autumn, winter season, you know, like basically every season. Like, what is it? Summer, at the beginning of summer I did it. Now, beginning of fall, maybe September, October, and then winter, maybe like in February, around my birthday and stuff, I'll do it. That way you don't over stretch and touch the hair, because, you know, you don't want to keep manipulating your hair. Only time I manipulate, I don't, you know, manipulate is like when I put the little rollers in it. And it doesn't take the hair out because it has this little silk thing on top of it, you see? Right here. So it's not going to pull your hair out as much. They slip around, but see, you can just see that it doesn't, so it won't rip your hair out as much. I'm sure it's not perfect, but it's close enough to perfect. So, you know, it's coming along quite well. Yeah, it comes along quite well. And I still using my purple shampoo. I had my little plant, but the herbal plant that I had, but somebody threw it away. It's not, I don't have it anymore. But anyways, I hope I gave some great information, you know, as far as what I think about marriage. And, you know, marriage is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to discourage anyone from getting married. But I'm just trying to look at it from a different angle. And what do you think of it? Because everybody always thinks, well, all these black women, they need to get married and it's going to solve the problem. The nuclear family is the ideal family. And they just need to get married and the black community will be just fine and perfect. And that's so far from the truth. That's not true. That's not true. You know why it's not true? Because that's not going to solve our issues. Our problem is systemic. Racism, white supremacy, and capitalism, patriarchy. So you get married is not going to change the effect of the oppressor, exploiter, the elite, whatever name, them ripping you off. They make money off of marriage. They make money off you having kids. They make money off of you getting a divorce. Easy to get in, hard to get out. But what I'm saying is you don't have to have permission from the state. But if you want to go and get all the formal stuff and have spend $38,000, $40,000 on a marriage, that's good. I'm not saying nobody should. Dress in white, be a virgin, you're pure, and have your daddy, your father, if you got one, borrow, give you away like property. And then the minister tells you when you can kiss. But that's your day, though. That's your day. But so go on and get married. Marriage is great. Especially if you marry a rich guy that's got a lot of money and he wants to share it with you. But otherwise, I don't know. Why would you get married? Anyway, somebody's calling me here. What is this? No, nobody. Okay, it's been great talking to you. Stay positive. Stay up. And hope... Oh, wow. Here we go. Stay positive, stay up, and you know, do all the normal happy things to make you happy, or pleasure, bring you pleasure. Some people don't want us to have fun. They say fun is being immature. You shouldn't be fun. You should be serious about the struggle. Well, what I have to say about that. Okay, life is short. Of course, we're at war. We're in struggle. We got the war of the sexes, war of patriarchy. Like I said, black men are killing black women every 8 hours. So, I think we deserve a little fun. If you want to wear a wig, wear a wig. If you want to have long fingernails, have long fingernails. If you want to have whatever, it doesn't bother me. It bothers some people because they want to have control of the black woman, because we're the resource. We're like a resource, like gold, diamonds. We're the resource that they want to have control of. So we can be the producers of the children. So it would give them it's kind of like having cows. You have cows. The more cows you have, the more valuable you are. So that's why, a lot of people say, well, you need to get control of the black woman, because it's kind of like I said, dominance control us to be subordinate. And why, that's another thing. Misogynoir, what you call it? Misogynoir. That's the hate of black women. Why do so many people hate black women? Why does society projects and creates all these stereotypes, like these, Sapphire, the little tough, loud-talking black woman, and what are, in movies, and they've been doing that since minstrel shows and everything. You see it online, the digital world. They always have, you see the Tyler Perry movies and all the so-called comedians. Oh, wait, what happened? Is that a free? Hello? Hey! It's freezing. What happened?